You walked out the church, but you kept the collection plate. Same wolf, different flock, just a rebranded faith. You dropped a man, picked the bass like you changed your creed, but you still pass the hat anytime you see a need. New crowd, same grift, you just flipped the script. Left guy, kept the hustle, every line of contract. You say you woke up, but the mask don't fit, cause the pastor never died, you just changed the pulpit. New crowd, same grift, you ain't deep, you slip. You just traded in the Bible for a brand safe stick. You can drop the cross, but you kept that spin. Ex-pastor, same scam, just a new built-in. You still preach like a Sunday, voice dipped in that drawl. Cadence of a sermon while you stand there telling it all. Brothers, sisters, Nas fam squad, y'all rock with me, but the rhythm is revival in the product. Still you on the screen, you swap you for playlists, hymns for hot takes. Sold I left religion, but kept all the fakes. Now you fishing new waters with the same old net. Guilt trip, love bomb, then you cash that check. You say you left the coat, but you clone that thing. Now yo, chat is the choir and the sub still sing. Your testimony, y'all gotta monetize it. Algorithms, your altar, every clicks, your amen. You got called out soft, just a question on the set about diversity at a conference you ain't even at yet. Instead of hearing it out, you went straight for the throat. Crown a random defender as the great white hope. Like who talks like that and thinks they sound grown? That's dog whistle diction with a live microphone. Someone's wife speaks up, you ain't locking the tone. So you tell a man, get control of your own, bro. That's church trash, thinking with the misogyny bait. Same sermon with wives and props and men, keep them in place. You can strip off the collar, burn the robe in the choir, but you kept all the rock that was under the attire. You silence dissent like a Gadim, running the room, band hammer like a Bible verse. Disagree, you're doomed. Constructive critique, you call it hate in disguise. Then you gaslight the whole chat while you roll your eyes. New crowd, same grift, you just flipped the script. Left God, kept the hustle, every line of contract. You say you woke up, but the mask don't fit, cause the pastor never died, you just changed the pulpit. New crowd, same grift, you ain't deep, you slick. You just traded in the Bible for a brand safe stick. You can drop the cross, but you kept that spin. Ex-pastor, same scam, just a new built-in. Every time you get exposed, you twist the clip and reply. Oh, y'all misunderstood me, now we watch you in real time. You talk over receipts like they're hecklers in the pew, then rewrite the whole scene. That's not what I meant to do. You ain't learning to grow and you're defending the throne, blocking folks from the chat while you call it my home. Like this is my community, my name on the sign. Yeah, coach say that too when they fall out of line. Still that smooth talking preacher with the listen here friend. Voice drops, eyes locked, then the guilt trips begin. You just swapped out God's will for my trauma, my pain, but the hook is identical. Trust me, you'll be shamed. You preach critical thinking but can't handle a mirror. Call it toxic when they question just to keep your image clearer. You're the ex-pastor poster boy for I left, but not really, cause your habits stayed churchy while your merch turned gritty. You left the steeple, not the scheme. That's applied twist fake. Still shepherding wallets, just a different faith. Same altar call, different words in the plea. Bow your heads, hit that like, come support me. New crowd, same grift, you just flipped the script. Left God, kept the hustle, every line of contract. You say you woke up, but the mask don't fit, cause the pastor never died, you just changed the pulpit. New crowd, same grift, we see through that bit. You can gaslight the stands, but the rest don't quit. Drop the act, drop the robe, drop the holy man spin. Till then you're just a failed pastor in a new false skin.
Yeah. Welcome to Unapologetic Atheism. Here, we reject the idea that religion deserves reverence simply because it's old, powerful, or popular. We believe religions are untrue and promote an... It's not playing? Welcome to Unapologetic Atheism. Here, we reject the idea that religion deserves... Didn't play. Play. Welcome to Unapologetic Atheism. No, it's not gonna play. Here, we reject the idea that religion... I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's broadcast.
Oh, it did play.
Us. That's right, motherfucker. Welcome to Unapologetic Atheism. Here, we reject the idea that religion deserves reverence simply because it's old, powerful, or popular. We believe religions are untrue and promote an inherently harmful denial of reality. Our mission is simple: to end religion's dominance over our lives and to end it now. Not someday, not when it's convenient, not when everyone feels ready, now. This is the anti-altar call, an opportunity to undedicate your life to Christ, reclaim your autonomy, and join a community of secular humanists committed to uplifting marginalized voices, defending science, and fighting for the genuine liberation of human beings everywhere. I'm Dr. J. Bundy, aka Pocket Locker 86, an evolutionary biologist, biological anthropologist, and educator currently teaching anthropology and sociology at the collegiate level. I'm a former Christian youth minister and program director from a family of 5 generations of ministers. A church drummer and audio engineer turned scientist, organizer, political strategist, and unapologetic truth teller. It used to be my job to preach the gospel to kids. Now it's my mission to share the good news that the irrational gods we were taught to fear and obey do not exist. If you're here to think freely, live boldly, and build a better world rooted in reality instead of mythology, welcome. This is unapologetic atheism. Let's lock in.
Ready for takeoff?
Whoa. Working hard on my stump, what's the problem? I ain't had shit to show, being modest. Now it's grams of the wax for my conscience. Brown James in LA, you're on college. I've been jumping on them planes like a hobby. Still moving with the pack like my partners. Shut the John on them jets cause you wildin'. But the bowl is a party on the island, moment of silence. So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pots flip. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Split the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen the change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs in the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute just to front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules. Had my first child, got it jumping with music. Can't really hang with nobody who losing. I thought by now that you would go and get it, but I could hardly see niggas this distant. Know you get cropped if you not in the picture. And I made that tag and went got a bag. Shots to the Henny and OG prescriptions, put rebel shit on the map. Took a leap from where I started at. Started ballin' now, Chris Paul and Cats. Got him steady calling for the mold, but I'm on a roll, gotta call him back. And that's all fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. All aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should now be clear. All electronic devices should now be turned off and stowed, as they may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication systems. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you may use approved electronic devices, but note that some items may not be used at any time during the flight. You'll find a list of approved devices in the in-flight
Rednecks
information section.
to the front. Rednecks to the front. Rednecks to the front. Rednecks to the front. Redneck to the front. Redneck to the front. That's gonna be a bop. We gonna be bopping today, yo. Oh, we gonna be bopping today. Welcome, 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 everybody, to the motherfucking Pocket Locker podcast. I am that motherfucker Pocket Locker mode. All right, y'all, let's get in airplane mode, get right. All right, look, before we jump into today, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of history. We gonna jump into a little bit. So I'm gonna set y'all up so that you in the motherfucking know when we let it go. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. Here's what you need to understand, y'all. Before redneck was ever used as a slur. All right, look, we hitting it up. I'm gonna hit y'all with the little AI intro, okay? Before redneck was ever used as a slur about rural white people, it was a badge of working class resistance, y'all. Give it up for the motherfucking working class resistance. Amen. Hallelujah, brothers. If you and sisters, if you understand that right now in this motherfucking 2025, we need some motherfucking working class solidarity like we need motherfucking oxygen, y'all. We're here to give people a motherfucking history lesson, y'all. All right. The origin, all right, number one, the sunburned necks, the working class identity. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, redneck referred mainly to poor southern farmers, people whose necks literally got red from working long hours in the sun. It was a class descriptor, not a political or racial one. It meant I work for a living, I'm not landed gentry, I'm not wealthy, I'm a laborer. Number two, the radical era, the red bandanas and the Cold Wars. Y'all saw the touch. Y'all saw the touch. Y'all saw what we did. Yeah, we was behind the scenes in the green room. I got with the motherfucking wardrobe team and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We pulled one of them red bandanas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we do that. We do that production thing around here. All right. So by the early 20th century, redneck transformed into something more powerful. During the West Virginia mine wars, especially the Battle of Blair Mountain in 1921, the largest labor uprising in U.S. history, Union miners wore red bandanas around their necks to identify each other. That's where the term redneck army came from. These were not reactionaries. These were multiracial, multi-ethnic, working class fighters taking up arms for better wages, safer conditions, and dignity. The movement included white miners, black miners, many formerly enslaved families who migrated to Appalachia, immigrant workers from Italy, Hungary, and Eastern Europe. They literally marched together under a shared class identity. Redneck in this context meant solidarity, not division. All right, elite backlash, turning solidarity into a slur. Because poor workers, black, white, immigrant, were uniting, the mine owners, politicians, newspapers, and sheriffs had a problem. This was dangerous to the ruling class. So they did what elites always do. They tried to turn the term redneck into an insult, something dirty, ignorant, and backwards. If workers see themselves as the same class, they fight together. If workers see each other as stereotypes, they stay divided. Destroying solidarity was the goal. So redneck today, a term slipped between two histories. On one hand, the word is still used as a slur for rural white people. On the other hand, many people, especially labor historians, Appalachian organizers, and left populists, I repeat, labor historians, Appalachian organizers, and left populists are reclaiming the original meaning. Redneck equals working class person equals someone who stands with the people, not the bosses. It means you stand with the people, not the bosses. Speaking of standing with the people, not the bosses, we are boycotting every atheist organization you've ever heard of. Hit me back with a list of, if you'd like a list of atheist organizations we're not boycotting. It might be a much shorter list. Until further notice. Y'all think I'm playing. Until further notice, we're boycotting all of these atheist organizations. We're not going to any of their conferences. We're not supporting any of their motherfucking content. We're not watching their content unless it's hate watching, so we could expose these motherfuckers, so we could tear their shit down. Okay? We ain't sending them no donos, no motherfucking donos. That means no donuts and no donations. They don't deserve either. Okay, none of their events, none of their fucking merchandise, none of that bullshit. Till y'all motherfuckers learn how to show some solidarity with the motherfucking people, and till you all unite against throwing women downstairs. I don't want to hear shit from none of you. Not a goddamn. We are literally boycotting every single, stay tuned because there's so much more coming on this, but just a little preview, just a little hookup. Just wanted to give you the little early word. I ain't fucking with none of them. Anyway, moving right along. Class solidarity is the thread that ties it all together. The forgotten truth is that the real redneck tradition was never about racism or exclusion. In fact, it was one of the rare historical moments when rural white coal miners, black miners, immigrant miners, union organizers fought side by side, literally facing machine guns, private militias, and federal troops. It was intersectional class solidarity before we had a word for it. The ruling class didn't fear quote unquote rednecks because they were backward. They feared them because they were united. So when you say rednecks stand for unity with all people, that's not rewriting history, it's restoring it. All right, cool. And now we're going to introduce y'all to two very important battles that are going to come up. And I want y'all to have a clue what we're talking about. All right, so we're going to talk about the Blair Mountain and Athens, Georgia battles. All right, so these are two forgotten moments when ordinary people fought back. When we talk about American history, the textbooks love to focus on elite heroes, presidents, generals, industrialists, but the truth is some of the most important fights for democracy in this country were waged from the bottom up by working people who refuse to be dominated by corrupt power. Two of the clearest examples, rarely taught, often erased, are the Battle of Blair Mountain from 1921 and the Battle of Athens, Tennessee. I said Athens, Georgia because I'm a fucking asshole because I traveled to Athens, to Athens, Georgia recently. Athens, Tennessee, my fault. These events happened 25 years apart in different regions with different actors, but the theme is the same. When the institutions failed, ordinary Americans defended their rights with their own hands. All right, so let's introduce y'all quickly to each one. The Battle of Blair Mountain is the largest labor uprising in U.S. history in 1921 in the coal fields of West Virginia. Tens of thousands of miners, white, black, and immigrant, rose up against a brutal system of company control. This wasn't a strike where workers held picket signs. It was a literal armed rebellion. What led to it? Coal companies control everything: the housing, the stores, the sheriffs, the schools, even the law. Union organizers were beaten, jailed, and murdered. Miners had no political voice and no economic freedom. After years of terror, over 10,000 Union miners marched toward Blair Mountain wearing red bandanas, the original rednecks, to demand their rights. They faced private militias, machine guns, hired strike breakers, and eventually U.S. Army troops. It was the closest thing the United States has had to a class-based civil war. Though the miners were forced to surrender, their sacrifice laid the groundwork for future labor protections. Why it matters? Blair Mountain is proof that the American working class has a long, proud tradition of interracial solidarity and militant struggle for dignity, one that capitalist elites did everything they could to erase. All right, number two, the Battle of Athens, Tennessee, when World War II veterans took up arms to restore democracy. Fast forward to 1946, a group of recently returned World War II veterans came home to McMinn County, Tennessee, only to find their town under the control of a corrupt political machine. Sheriffs, deputies, and local officials were rigging elections, intimidating voters, beating citizens, stealing ballot boxes, and running illegal rackets. People had begged state and federal authorities for help. None came. What happened on election night? After deputies attempted to steal the ballot boxes yet again, the veterans surrounded the jail where the votes were being held. Gunfire erupted for hours. Citizens exchanged fire with corrupt law enforcement. Eventually, the veterans used dynamite to force the deputies to surrender. The outcome, unlike Blair Mountain, the people won. They restored free elections, threw out the old machine, and rebuilt local democracy. Why it matters? Athens is the rare moment in U.S. history when armed resistance directly defeated political corruption. It wasn't ideological extremism, left or right. It was working class citizens insisting that democracy belongs to the people, not the bullies with badges. We doing some motherfucking sociology today. I'm in the mood for social sciences. Y'all don't understand. Teachers been teaching all goddamn day. Rednecks to the front. All right. So, two battles, one message. Blair Mountain and Athens aren't stories about chaos or anarchy. They're stories about ordinary Americans who believed so strongly in fairness, solidarity, and democratic control that they were willing to risk their lives for it. They remind us that democracy is not a gift from the powerful. Rights are not guaranteed by elites. Sometimes the people have to defend freedom themselves. These are the real roots of the American spirit: working class, interracial, democratic, and unafraid. All right, all right, all right. Now, let us jump into the main event. Rednecks to the front. Rednecks to the front. Rednecks to the front. Rednecks to the front. Cheers mode, all that good shit. Let's get right. Go. What are we doing? What are we doing? You're making me look like I don't know how to stream YouTube shows. I promise I know how to stream YouTube shows. Oh, no. I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see if we can fix this. Let's see. I don't know. Boop. Let's close that. Uh-oh. There we go.
Boy, howdy, let me tell you what. If you think that the Trump administration knows a goddamn thing about anything, you don't know shit about shit either, buddy. Let me just tell you. And coming from real redneck, and I mean real redneck. Here, let me show you some redneck shit real quick. Pit bull, charcoal grill, chicken vitamins, chickens, fruit trees as far as I can see. My God.
Yes. Let's
Great
get
Smoky
it.
Mountains.
Let's get it.
I'm real redneck, baby.
Let's get it. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all see, some of y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, because I'll be telling y'all about the host with the most all the way from the East Coast. You know your boy in New Jersey. Now, you know your boy only got one city. That city's called Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, and y'all know I could like throw a rock and hit New York City, but we fuck with Newark, New Jersey around here. I could talk shit about New Yorkers. You can't talk shit about New Yorkers. But setting that aside, because I was born in this area and I returned to this area because I have family roots in this area. Your boy was raised in Pennsylvania. Your boy from Toby Hanna, Pennsylvania. Okay. Okay, so when we talk about this legit redneck shit, okay, that's my people. That's the motherfuckers I grew up with. Yes, your boy lived in a nice little suburban community, went to little Catholic schools and did all that. Trust me, gang, it don't matter whether you all the way country, got the little suburbs in you come from the part of Pennsylvania I'm from, everybody got a little country in them because it's country as shit. And we live in the Poconos. We live in the middle of the motherfucking mountains, and it's the same. We recognize the same people. Y'all, I went for a job interview in West Virginia. I don't think I got the job because these motherfuckers still ain't hit me up and say shit to me. I know what the fuck that means. That means you ain't get the job. But I had a good time in West Virginia, and people was just so beautiful and lovely, and you just feel it. I could feel it in the air. There's a change happening in this motherfucking country, y'all. The populist fucking movement is swinging hard and motherfucking so fast to the left. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Let's talk about it. I gotta see it again. I want to see it. The setup is lovely. This is my dude. I'm ready to roll some weed, come through with a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of that Mary Jane, and just chill with this dude.
Boy, howdy, let me tell you what. If you think
watch some football, have us a good time.
Knows a goddamn thing about anything, you don't know shit about shit either, buddy. Let me just tell you. And coming from real redneck, and I mean real redneck. Here, let me show you some redneck
Let's
shit
see
real
it.
quick.
Let's see it real quick. Oh,
Pit bull, charcoal
beautiful.
grill, chicken
That's it.
vitamins, chickens,
Legit.
fruit trees
Legit.
as far as I can see.
Legit.
The Great Smoky Mountains.
Legit.
I'm real redneck, by God. If you're simping for these fascists, and you come from Appalachia, your grandpappy rolling in his fucking grave right now. I tell you what.
Tell him.
And if you claim to be a redneck, but you don't know about the Battle of Blair Mountain,
You're gonna learn today.
You ain't no redneck,
Cows
buddy.
down the street. That's what I'm talking about,
Real
K-Dub.
rednecks stand in solidarity with all the people. You feel me?
Cheers,
Power to the
AR.
people.
I've been holding Zach's video in my back pocket for months, but there is a new story out
Did y'all
from
hear
The
that,
Intercept.
Tell him again.
You ain't no redneck, buddy. Real rednecks stand in solidarity with all the people. You feel me?
Real rednecks stand in solidarity with all the people. You feel me? I feel you. I sure as fuck do. I sure as hell do.
Power to the people.
I've been holding Zach's video in my back pocket for months, but there is a new story out from The Intercept that made me feel like, yeah, it's time. Now's the time. I've made a number of videos about Appalachia in particular, about Kentucky and West Virginia, and how they have swung very heavily for Donald Trump, and how that's confusing to a lot of us, right? Because these are parts of the country, coal mining country especially, that has a long history of voting pro-union, pro-Democrat. But in the last 3 election cycles, we've watched them swing more and more and more to Donald Trump, to be indoctrinated, susceptible to the indoctrination of MAGA. Some of these counties went 85% for Donald Trump, but more than 50% of the residents are on SNAP and Medicaid.
And the funny thing is that shit was so crazy, y'all. And then it had these motherfuckers identifying with the South and shit and talking about their heritage, and they losing their heritage and they're losing their country to the immigrants and shit like that. No, you done lost your goddamn mind and really lost your history and really forgot what the fuck your heritage is about and really forgot what it means to be a goddamn American and really forgot what it's about to be a fucking laborer and a motherfucking part of a goddamn democracy and really forgot what it's about fighting for rights and understanding what fucking equality is about and understanding that we don't fuck with the elites, dumbass. We don't fuck with the elites and the billionaires. It's the billionaires we need to be united against up in this bitch. The fuck is wrong with y'all?
And I know it's really tempting for us to say, fuck around and find out. Well, it
is. I didn't go hold you. I didn't go hold you. We're here to learn. We're here to be humble. We're here to, today's an effort of restoration and reunion. My audience is losing their mind. My audience don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm being charitable and talking about solidarity and fucking loving all the. They don't. People is like, what the fuck did somebody spike Jay's fucking drink? What is going on? Look, I'm trying to be restorative today, y'all. We're being optimistic. The populist movement is swinging back to the left. We got some shit to talk about. We got some accountability that needs to be doled out. There's some fucking trauma. Okay, I'm still suffering from Trump derangement fucking syndrome. Okay, I need years of therapy to truly work through the issues I have with this people. But God damn it, right now, today, right now, we're opening our motherfucking doors so y'all could get this shit right, okay? Shit's too important right now. We're gonna work through the damage later.
I hope they get every single thing that they voted for. This is what they picked. Oh, you know what? Racism is expensive, but it's very unnuanced, and I don't think it's helpful to just say that these folks voted purely on racism. That's not what happened. I'll keep beating this drum. It's more complicated than that. And if we want to understand how to dig our whole country out from...
Kyle, some of us were born for peace and some of us were born for war. This peace shit is difficult for me, all right? I'm trying.
What we're experiencing right now, I think we have to look at Appalachia and how it is that a population that is historically heavily oppressed by the super rich, with a long history of generational poverty, but an intense commitment to the labor movement, how it is that those folks could swing for Donald Trump. We've got to understand. We've got to continue to humanize, to empathize, and to understand what caused these people to vote for their own oppression, to vote to increase hardship, and to strip themselves of freedom. What happened there? Because it's not as simple as they wouldn't vote for a black woman. Again, for the bazillion.
I gotta say, though, they wouldn't vote for a black woman, though. That shit hurts, y'all. It really hurts. And it hurts on so many fronts. I can't shake it. I was thinking about it earlier, like all the people on the left who wouldn't vote for Kamala. And I get it. Kamala was a problematic candidate. Kamala was never my president. Let's just put it that way, okay? But We just needed to go with it in the moment so that we don't get Trump. And I know that there were so many people who just felt like, oh, I just can't bring myself to vote for her. But they really needed to do more to investigate why. Because number one, there's just no such thing as a candidate you want to vote for on all fronts. I take it from me. I literally have been close to candidates my entire fucking life, and they've been disappointing me, even the ones I was very close to and admired, and it's just the nature of the beast. But also, there was this grave neglect and not understanding how to meet the moment. And it just so happens that everybody finds this hyper consciousness when the candidate is black or when the candidate is a woman. And if the candidate happens to be a black woman, fucking forget it. So then she wasn't pro-Palestinian enough, even though she was the only candidate basically saying she supported a ceasefire. She wasn't doing enough to distinguish herself from Joe Biden, even though nobody running for president currently as the vice president has ever fucking thrown the president they were currently serving under the fucking bus. She wasn't left enough, as though there was a fucking leftist option in the goddamn motherfucking conversation. And the alternative was Trump. And so you sitting at home, voting third party, any of the above, ushered in Trump. And sometimes people have to be grown-ups. And I'm kind of only going on about this right now because I see this shit happening again. People are seeing this fucking populism shift to the left, and we're already doing the most to throw all the Democratic candidates we can under the bus. And I get it. The Democratic Party fucking sucks. I repeat, I get it. The Democratic Party fucking sucks. I don't need to be reminded that the Democratic Party fucking sucks. But we live currently in a two-party reality, so we need to get the party that isn't going to kill us in power and then move them where we need to get them as we build up other options. Like I saw my girl Sabby do like a breakdown of why we shouldn't be supporting Jasmine Crockett, because Jasmine Crockett is really a corporatist pro-Israel Democrat. And yeah, that shit broke my fucking heart. Like that's my Congress wifey right there, and she's fucking up, just like Anna Kasparian, and I'm gonna have to divorce Jasmine Crockett, y'all, and it's fucking unfortunate. But of course, I'm gonna still support Jasmine fucking Crockett, because what do you think the fucking alternative is? And she's always like, well, this is why you got to go third party. There's no third party in the motherfucking race that's got a fucking shot at the thing. So I'm just saying, be careful when people give you solutions to problems that you can't actually use. You gotta mix the ideal in with the fucking pragmatic, in the practical, and do the adulting. And the shit hurts with Kamala because we needed people to do the adulting so that we could have an adult president. And instead, we have a toddler Mussolini. We have toddler Mussolini because people wouldn't vote for that black woman. So we're going to have this conversation because we're here to bring the rednecks to the front. We're here to bring... Why am I doing this, y'all? Because this is the dreams of my father. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. My dad is really, really amazing at two things, politics and Pinochle. So with regard to the Pinochle, probably his truest gift, that's his real job, as he would say. But he's also very good at politics. And he's always taught me my whole life, the problem with this country is that the motherfucking urban people and the motherfucking rural people are not on the same page. They're always divided on the bullshit. Black and brown people over here, white folks over here, Democrats over here, Republicans over here. The problem is by keeping them in that mode, they basically keep canceling each other the fuck out, and we can't really get our asses moving in the direction we need to get moving. And if they were to ever unite as the motherfucking working people, like the urban working class and the rural working class, realized they're all working class, and then they came together, since that would be most of the people in the rural part of the country where they're most of the people, and then all of the urban people in the big cities where they're most of the people, and then they came together, that'd be fucking pretty much like goddamn near all the goddamn motherfucking people. And then the elites would be fucked. And we would get our way on shit. And the fucked up part is we don't even have to take all their goddamn money from them. Yeah, I personally, if you left it up to me, I say we forcefully redistribute all the wealth. I would literally take all their money. The taxes, gang. Oh my God. It'd basically be impossible to be a serious millionaire. You could maybe get you like a couple of million going somehow, maybe. But after that, nah, you can't have shit. Nobody gets to inherit shit. Oh my God, y'all. It would be so sweet, gang. I'm talking free everything. I'm talking a fucking liberal fucking paradise, a fucking wonderful society. Everybody's making like 90 to 100K as the universal basic income. It's just fucking socialist utopia, okay? But we don't have to do that. If we get real populism, we just do the policies and then we just get the shit we want and then we take the money that way. And they can't do anything because there's not that many of them. They designed it that way. They designed it to make sure that there would be not a lot of them and that most people would be part of the fucked population. They designed it deliberately so that most people were in the super fucked group, right? And then the only people who were like not fucked by the current system, they made sure that that was like a really small group, right? So I don't know if you guys know how math works, right? But if you do like a democracy thing where every one person gets one vote, and then like all the people are in like the one group, right? And then the other group, there's just not that. Yeah, it doesn't matter actually how much money that group has anymore. It doesn't matter how many political ads and bullshit they buy because there's just not enough of them. So when you put together the politics with the basic math that we teach like 10-year-olds, yeah, so that's what this is about. This is about trying to fucking seize the goddamn fucking moment and finally get some motherfucking class consciousness and some unity between the motherfucking urban people and the rural people. Because it's the dreams of my father, gang. Because it's the dreams of my father, okay?
Time. Donald Trump, the Republicans, the super rich in this country, they're really, really good at feeding racism, harnessing the racism that exists, stoking it, not just the racism, the misogyny and the internalized classism. And using those three, right, that little trifecta of fuckery, the patriarchy, white supremacy, and capitalism, using those to control white people in the working class. And if you don't know the history of Blair Mountain and Mother Jones, then maybe I'll cover that in another video. But please understand that Appalachia has a long history of labor organizing, a long history of struggle against the super rich, against corporations, against exploitation. And so it's really baffling to a lot of us how it is that they voted for Donald Trump. And a lot of people have been asking, how do we wake these folks up?
Yeah,
how do we help them realize
we go.
What they've contributed toward the harm that they
How
have done?
do we wake them up? Yes, how, y'all? You know what gets me towards peace, y'all? I'm just so fucking tired. They done wore me the fuck out. I'm like, look, if y'all could get them to wake up, fine. I will vote for fucking reconciliation with former MAGA, okay? If you can just make the pain stop, if we could just end the fine. I previously was on team civil divorce. Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know what I mean, okay? What I mean is us becoming two separate nations. We'll take the North, you can take the South, okay? And we just fast forward 5 or 10 years later and see who's begging for a fucking reunion, okay? And there's no need for a civil war when a civil divorce will do, okay? We don't need to have a war. Just bye, Felicia. See you later, okay? That was me. Okay? Bye. See you later. Bye. Okay? Take Oklahoma with you, okay? But now something has changed, gang. They're seeing the light. There's a lot of the people in the little MAGA spaces, the little maggotville's that have been built up, the little bubbles, the little echo chambers, the little layers of fucking vice signaling and all that other weirdo shit that they do over there. They're starting to see it. They're starting to call Trump out. They're starting to tear down MAGA. And then there's like America First, but a lot of them are realizing America First is just more grossness and yeah, I don't know, it's happening. It's weird. It's very weird. They're beginning to learn. It's like watching a baby take its first steps or learn its first words. It's you really see the brain developing in real time. You got to remember these people are very babified. There's better words for that. Neotenous, baby-like. Okay, and so they're taking those first steps. Okay, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it because they're also very amusing. And when they get real upset about something and they feel like they've been betrayed, they're funny. Yeah, they're funny. When they get mad and they start to call Trump out and they really go at him. I got to be honest with you. Former MAGA pissed off like Trump voters, they kind of go harder at Trump than a lot of you liberals. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, yeah, they're see, because they were personally invested in this whole MAGA thing. So now that it's crumbling and they realize that they've been duped the whole time, they're way more pissed than a lot of liberals are. So sign me up for that because, like I said, it's quite amusing. So when you put the amusing part of it together with the I don't want to die part, yeah, fine. I'll vote for fucking reconciliation this one time, and we'll get to the accountability later. We'll revisit the trauma later. Okay.
Voting for Donald Trump once or twice or maybe even 3 times. I don't know what the tipping point is. I don't know how it is that people wake up. I think that's very individual. Each person has their own moment where they're like, oh, holy shit. But I spend a little bit of time every day looking at ice raid videos.
I've always been in touch with my inner redneck. You can take the girl off the farm, but you can't get the farm out the girl. I'm with it. I was that kid that looked forward to riding around on tractors and shit. And also, like, one of my drumming mentors was like a country music drummer. People don't know I low key like love country music. And I probably just lost about half my subs. The one thing Democrats and Republicans can agree on is everybody fucking hates country music. But god damn it, that's some American shit right there. You got to understand your goddamn culture, okay? The Americans need to be proud of the things that we have uniquely contributed to the world, and that corny ass let's make songs about our trucks and our fields and our guns and our dogs. I love it. It's pure American shit. I mean, black people love country music. Stop being racist. Okay? My grandfather loves country music. My great grandfather, rest his soul, loved country music. Black people country too. Y'all, that hurts me when you stereotype us that way, when you don't understand. Just because I'm made of chocolate doesn't mean I don't love a little twang, okay? Fuck you guys, that was hurtful.
abduction videos on Instagram, and I've watched the ones that are happening in Appalachia. And for me, I've been thinking, like, is this the thing? Is this the thing
If you're
that gets
lucky,
people
AR.
to wake up? And lo and behold, there is a new piece out in The Intercept that seems to be indicating much the same thing. And I want to share it with you. The piece is entitled, "Real America is Turning Against Trump's Mass Deportation Regime." The piece is by Alan Stevens,
Darius
again in
Rucker.
The Intercept, December 3rd. And I want to share a little bit of this article with you because it seems to echo my
really
initial
good.
thoughts on it, but then, of course, obviously it gives a whole lot more context and information. And I found the piece quite compelling. Everyday Americans in Appalachia.
See, I was being a good partner. This one time I had a girlfriend who was like really into Darius Rucker, and I got her like a bunch of Darius Rucker stuff for, I think it was Christmas or something. And I was like, I really like you because I'm not into buying people things with other black men on it. But it was the right thing to do.
And the Southeast show that resisting ICE is becoming the rule rather than the exception. On a chilly evening in mid-November, about 135 people gathered along a highway in Boone, North Carolina, a small Appalachian college town not known as a hotbed of leftist protest. They held signs reading,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Beyonce made Yeah, Beyonce's album was a fucking moment. It's a fucking moment. It fucking transcended fucking everything. I don't know. I'm still upset. I'm still upset that she didn't get the awards. I'm still upset that the CMA they dropped the ball so hard, y'all. Oh, it's painful. Oh, make it stop. That's what I mean. That's what I mean, y'all. That's what I mean. You need to if you don't understand the need for fucking redneck solidarity with the working class, Beyonce did not win the motherfucking CMA awards, y'all. If this fucking country understood the fucking history and what that fucking moment was about, and the direct thread from the shit with the Dixie Chicks to that fucking album with the Dolly and all of the shit and then the fucking black girl magic all the way through the black women at WrestleMania fucking main eventing with their fucking Cowboy Carter get-ups. Y'all people, they missed it. They missed it because we don't have the goddamn solidarity, y'all.
Nazis were just following orders too, and time to melt the ice, and chanted profane rebukes at immigration and customs enforcement agents rumored to be in the area. They came here thinking they wouldn't be bothered, one Appalachian State University student told the Appalachian at an impromptu rally. Boone is a small, southern white mountain town. We need to let them know they'll be bothered anywhere they go.
All right, y'all. So this is it, man. Appalachia is not fucking with ICE. And again, like, it's so funny. It's like they're literally repeating the same stuff you are hearing in black communities. So my dad recently traveled to Washington, D.C., and he was kind of laughing at Trump because he's like, Washington, D.C. is pretty beautiful. It's like it's like literally the capital of the fucking nation. And yes, it has some neighborhoods, but that's not even where Trump is, doing his whole big fucking pomp and circumstance show of force, because he doesn't give a fuck about those goddamn neighborhoods, right? So he's got the fucking army and the National Guards and all these fucking people coming in from all these states, and they're all in like the nice ass parts of the fucking city, and then they're standing around not doing anything. Because it's Washington, D.C. Like, what the fuck do you think is going on here, bro? Like, it's literally the fucking seat of the goddamn government. Like, it's beautiful. People love it. They're having a good time. They're out. And so you literally have all these fucking armed fucking military person around, standing around not doing anything all goddamn day, because all of this is fucking ridiculous and people are fine. And so Trump looks like a fucking idiot because he's all selling this shit and there's like no crime. These people are just fucking wasting their time. And the same shit that is happening in urban environments, the same shit that is happening to black and brown people in the cities, Trump sending in all this fucking ICE bullshit, and people are like, I don't know if you know this, but ICE is perceived as the security threat in this community. our immigrant neighbors, yeah, they're fine. We want them here. And like literally people are like ganging up to stop ICE. I had to like warn my students about, you know, ICE raids and tell them about how ridiculous it is that I have to be concerned about ICE raiding. And even my students were like, yeah, well, there's 30 of us. I was like, now that's the spirit. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. We ain't letting ICE come in here and fuck with none of us. That's you goddamn right. Like, the fuck do y'all think this is? Okay, try some shit. You're gonna have me and fucking 30 undergrads fucking whooping some ICE ass, all right? It's fucking Essex County, motherfucker. All right. Appalachia, same shit. People are chilling, is beautiful, is fine. Are people struggling? Do they have working class issues? Sure as fuck do. But people love it. They're happy with their lives. They love their communities. They love where they're at. They love their fucking neighbors. They're fucking chilling, and they're doing what they've done for generations, which is thrive. Okay, and they see all this ICE bullshit, and they're like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" There's like, but no, but none of these people are bothering anybody. But no, but sorry, we're safe here. What do you mean? What do you mean we need? So they're not feeling this. They thought they were just gonna keep selling people this bullshit, but Appalachia is not feeling that shit, and I'm fucking
A
here
region
for it.
often stereotyped as silently conservative, this flash of defiance was a startling sign that the battle lines of American politics are shifting in unexpected ways.
Yep.
For the past several weeks, the Trump regime has been rolling out a mass deportation campaign of unprecedented scope, one that is now reaching deep into Appalachia. Branded Operation Charlotte's Web, a deployment of hundreds of Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol agents descended on North Carolina in mid-November, making sweeping arrests in and around Charlotte and into the state's rural mountain counties. The effort is targeting the worst of the worst criminal aliens, but the numbers tell a different story. More than 370 people were arrested, and only 44 of them had any prior criminal record, according to DHS. The vast majority were ordinary, undocumented residents, people going to work or school. They were not violent criminals, which underscores that the crackdown is less about public safety than meeting political quotas. Indeed, Trump campaigned on conducting the largest deportation operation in the U.S., vowing to round up more than 15 to 20 million people, which is more than the estimated 14 million undocumented people in this country, and pressuring ICE to triple its arrest rates to 3,000 per day. That was back in early May. Stephen Miller demanded a quota of 3,000 per day. The federal dragnet has already driven ICE arrests to levels not seen in years. Immigrants without criminal convictions now make up the largest share of detainees. Just a reminder that only 5% of folks abducted by ICE have any violent criminal history at all. Skipping down a bit here.
And yeah,
kicking the
so
horn.
this is the type of shit too, because y'all know something about this crowd. When their mind gets a little worm or whatever causes the motions in there. I don't understand how their brains work, so you got to remember I'm just guessing here. They do their own research. I don't know what's going on in their hearts and minds, but I know the behavior, right? The behavior is they start doing their own research. So when they start doing their own research and they start realizing that not only is ICE like harassing their neighbors and the ones that don't really need to be harassed, and they realize that generally speaking, this whole ICE thing has been a farce. And then they start questioning what else has been a farce, you know? It's like them wheels, they are turning. They might not be turbocharged quite yet. Okay? They might be like horse and buggy speed, okay? But they're turning.
Hornet's nest. What officials didn't seem to anticipate was that this crackdown would face fierce pushback, not only in liberal hubs with large immigrant communities like Los Angeles or Chicago, but in predominantly white working class communities.
There we go.
In Charlotte, a city on the edge of the Blue Ridge foothills, activists scrambled to implement a broad early warning network to track federal agents. Thousands of local volunteers, many of them outside the city's political establishment, mobilized to monitor convoys and alert vulnerable families in real time.
Oh shit, gang. Y'all know what this fucking class solidarity made me want to do? Capitalism. I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's broadcast. Us. That's right, motherfuckers. This shit right here is real, independent, secular media. We have no sponsors, no advertisers, and we sure as hell don't have billionaire backers. We don't think billionaires should exist, so they don't call, and even if they did, we wouldn't answer. Let's keep it all the way real. We are not popular. Conservatives don't like us because we tell the truth. Liberals don't like us because we tell the truth. Believers don't like us because we tell the truth. And honestly, even most atheists don't like us because we tell the truth. So if you want to support a channel that's actually independent, not corporate branded, not billionaire funded, not algorithm approved, you can do it completely for free. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share the content far and wide. Put other creators on to what we do. Tell them to check out the channel, encourage them to collaborate, or maybe even debate live with the community. And if you want to help keep the lights on or dream with us about a future where we can do this full time, you can drop a few ducats through Ko-Fi or become a member. Most importantly, stay connected with the movement. Join our Discord and pull up to our live headquarters inside Work Adventure. All those links are in the description. This isn't passive entertainment. This is a takeover. We are taking over the internet. All right, I gotta guess when that damn thing's over because I can't see, everything frozen on my end. All right, gang, appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and finish this thing strong. Here we go.
Neighborhoods followed unmarked vehicles and honked their car horns to warn others when ICE agents were spotted. Acts of quiet guerrilla resistance that Border Patrol's local commander derided as cult behavior. The effort spanned from downtown Charlotte into the rural western counties, with observers checking hotels and Walmart parking lots in mountain towns for staging areas and relaying tips all across the region. By the time that the sheriff announced the feds had pulled out and videos showed a convoy hightailing it down the highway, locals were already hailing it as a hornet's nest victory, comparing the retreat to British General Cornwallis's abrupt withdrawal from the area during the Revolutionary War after being met with unexpectedly fierce resistance. Charlotte's mostly quiet semi-official resistance, dubbed the Bless Your Heart approach for its polite but pointed Southern style, was notable, but the open rebellion brewing in coal country may be even more significant. In Harlan County, Kentucky, a storied epicenter of the Appalachian labor wars, residents...
Quick plug. All right, because I want to pull that back actually a little bit. And the reason I say quick plug is because tomorrow I am streaming with Patty from the Apostate Sisters. Yes. And we are not talking about no bullshit. We are talking about politeness and the trappings thereof. And so this is like a conversation we planned because we wanted to do a follow-up to the recording we made together. So really looking forward to it. It's just some content we're going to make together, hoping that it's going to be a good discussion. Of course, it's going to be a good discussion. It's going to be me and fucking Patty. All right, so tune in. That's tomorrow, I think 7, 8. I got to double check, but it's definitely going down tomorrow night. All right, appreciate y'all. The reason it made me think of that, because you talked about the bless your heart approach. And it made me think of the sort of contrast in sort of styles there. And yeah, I think it's a good segue for our stream tomorrow.
Towns for staging areas and relaying tips all across the region. By the time that the sheriff announced the feds had pulled out and videos showed a convoy hightailing it down the highway, locals were already hailing it as a hornet's nest victory, comparing the retreat to British General Cornwallis's abrupt withdrawal from the area during the Revolutionary War after being met with unexpectedly fierce resistance. Charlotte's mostly quiet semi-official resistance, dubbed the Bless Your Heart approach for its polite but pointed Southern style, was notable, but the open rebellion brewing in coal country may be even more significant. In Harlan County, Kentucky, a storied epicenter of the Appalachian labor wars, residents recently got an alarming preview of the deportation machine's reach. Back in May, a convoy of black SUVs rolled into the town of Harlan, and armed agents in tactical gear stormed 2 Mexican restaurants. At first, the operation was framed as a drug bust. Kentucky State Police on the scene told bystanders it was part of an ongoing drug investigation. But despite being carried out by DEA agents, it was an immigration raid. And local reporter Jennifer McDaniels noted that the people arrested and jailed, their cases listed as immigration, had not a single drug-related offense. Once the shock wore off, residents were livid. "We took it personal here," McDaniels, who witnessed the raid, said, watching their neighbors being whisked away in an unmarked van.
All right, the stream tomorrow, Patty's at 7.
With no real explanation from authorities, rattled the tight-knit community. "I don't like what these raids are doing to our community," McDaniels continued. "Our local leaders don't like what's going on. Just really want to know what's happening, and nobody's telling us." It turned out at least 13 people from Harlan were disappeared that day, quietly transferred to a detention center 70 miles away. In Harlan, immortalized in song and history as Bloody Harlan for its coal miners' uprisings, the sight of government agents snatching low-wage workers off the job struck a deep nerve of betrayal and anger. This is a place that knows what class war looks like, and many residents see shades of it in the federal government's high-handed raids. Blood in the hills. For decades, Appalachia lived with the same lesson.
Yes, 7 o'clock tomorrow. It's Eastern time. So, yeah, I should have mentioned that.
Carved into the hills like coal mines. When Washington shows up, it's rarely to help. When the mining ended and industry dried up, when opioids ripped through these communities, the federal response has always been too little, too late. When hurricanes and floods drowned eastern North Carolina, both from Matthew in 2016 and Florence in 2018, thousands of homes sat unrepaired a decade later, with families still sleeping in FEMA trailers long after the rest of the country had moved on. After Helene floods smashed the western mountains in 2024, relief trickled in like rusted pipe water, with just $1.3 billion delivered to address an estimated $60 billion in damage.
Yeah, and most of that stuff gets siphoned off. Like a lot of these, it's part of the reason we need to be boycotting these organizations, gang, is because even when these things happen and there's like federal money, like so much of it gets siphoned off to the organizations, right? And then they do whatever with it. And so it doesn't even reach the fucking people. That's a whole fucking area of fucking fraud, waste, and abuse that needs to be fucking exposed, but most people don't even think about it, and they just like, and it's sad, right? Because it takes advantage of people's urgency. It takes advantage of people like wanting to help. So it's, you know, it's not enough to send the money. These days we're learning more and more. You got to send the money, and then you got to follow the fucking money to make sure. Actually, that's backwards. You gotta fucking follow the money before you send it.
A year later, survivors were living in tents and sheds, waiting for their government to step in. But the federal government's priority is a parade of bodies, arrest numbers, detention quotas, a spectacle of force. And so suddenly, these forgotten communities are lit up with floodlights and convoys. Operation Charlotte's Web saw hundreds of ICE and Border Patrol agents deploy overnight. Help arrives slow, enforcement arrived fast and
Wow.
armored. It only reinforces the oldest mountain wisdom: never trust the government. It's a paradoxical.
That is just so poignant, and it really speaks to, like, again, the real history, right? Where rural America, I hate to say it's supposed to know that it's essentially been forgotten about. Now what's happened is that fucking, again, that class consciousness, that anger that should be directed at the elites and the powerful, has been directed at the urban and the cities and those populations. And it's especially easy to hate those populations because there's not a lot of them, right? You live in rural fucking America. How many trans people do you really know that are fucking ruining shit for you, right? So it's easy to fucking fear something you don't encounter. And then to think that, what are the cities doing to you, right? Like if you live in one of these like rural neglected parts of your state, like what do the people in the city have to do with that, right? But it's so easy for people to just buy into those narratives. But like she said, that's the oldest wisdom, is, again, they're supposed to know that they're forgotten about too. And they're supposed to know exactly, like, when it comes time to take care of us, it's slow, late, and it's never enough. When it comes to keeping their boot on our necks, it's fast, swift, and severe. That same fate. It's not to say, and that's the bullshit about racism to begin with, because the same fucking white supremacist capitalist system that would happily take me all the way up out of here, feels the same way about rural white folks. And that's why it pisses me off too when I hear like fucking black people be so easily sucked into anti-immigration narratives themselves. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So weird.
Arrangement that to too many working Appalachians is simply untenable. It's a rural area with low crime, one organizer in Boone pointed out, calling ICE's authoritarian sweep disgusting and inhumane. The organizer also said that's the #1 conservative tactic, being tough on crime even when crime doesn't exist. In other words, the narrative
tough on crime even when crime doesn't exist. It's the same shit happening in the cities that is happening in fucking Appalachia, happening in all these rural places, and it's beautiful. It's like, not beautiful, the response is beautiful. It's good to see that they took these people's humanity for granted, thought they could steamroll them, thought they would just continue to sign up for their own fucking demise, and it's backfiring, like so many other efforts. And I'm not trying to be too high on the hopium, but I do see the shifts, and I get why people are excited about them. And I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here watching. I'm gonna be here watching. I take it case by case. I think there's a lot of people who there's reason to be cautiously optimistic, and then there's other people who I'm like, you're gonna have to do a whole lot to show me you've changed your ways. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be able to fucking believe you, but it's gonna take a little bit more.
About dangerous criminals didn't match what people are actually seeing as their friends, classmates, and co-workers are being carted off. To be sure, public opinion in Appalachia isn't monolithic. Plenty of folks still cheer any crackdowns of illegals as a restoration of law and order.
Exactly. And I tried to like share this with my students, because like one of the things we tell ourselves is the myth of these founding fathers. And I try to like tell my students, like, look, when you get that inclination in your mind you hear these people talking about what these people wanted, what these founding fathers wanted, please remember that they wanted an America in which none of us could vote. You know what I mean? You're talking to a room full of young people. None of y'all are land owning white men. You know what I mean? Like even the ones that think they go, but you ain't that right now. It's like you ain't got that. So, having them really think through, like, yeah, maybe right now some of your parents, maybe some of your fathers would be able to vote. Maybe, hard maybe. And it just has them think like, oh yeah, like I should probably not simp for these motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
The growing resistance in these communities suggests a profound shift. Class solidarity is beginning to trouble the traditional partisan lines. The old playbook of stoking rural white fears about immigration begins to lose its potency when those same immigrants have become neighbors, co-workers, fellow parishioners, and when federal agents descend like an occupying army, indiscriminately disrupting everyone's lives. This is why I say leaning into our humanity is the way out of this. When the immigrants being snatched are your friends, your neighbors, the folks you go to church with, the parents of your child's best friend, you can't continue to justify what the regime is doing because you cannot dehumanize these folks. When you have relationships with people, it becomes really clear what the government is doing to those people. Abducting a so-called violent gang member at their place of employment is a contradiction, a local Boone resident scoffed. It doesn't take a Marxist to see the underlying reality. This isn't about protecting rural communities, it's about using them for political ends. For many who've been told that they're the forgotten America, the only time Washington remembers them is to enlist them as pawns or body counts in someone else's culture war. And increasingly, Appalachians are saying no. Appalachia has a long, if overlooked, tradition of rebellion from below. A century ago, West Virginia coal miners fought the largest armed labor uprising in U.S. history at Blair Mountain. Coal miners' labor uprisings, and particularly Blair Mountain, is one of my special interests. I'm not a historian, but this is a period in history that I think is so crucial for all of us to learn and connect with. So,
it is because like, they don't want us to know about it. They don't, this is exactly what they don't want Americans to identify with. They want us to think that every time we say class solidarity, we talk about, class consciousness and fighting capitalism and getting rid of the elites and eating the rich and all of this stuff. They hear, oh my goodness, you want to give us some crazy socialist communist thing, and then they reach for like the wildest reaches of like depravity in their imagination. And it's like, no, I want to do like normal regular American shit where you're supposed to be like a normal ass person who realize like the boss is always fucking over the fucking people, and the people need to fucking not simp for the goddamn billionaires. Just regular, normal, fucking regular shit. What is wrong with people?
I'm happy to go into that in a lot of detail in another video, or I encourage you to go read up on it more. Anyway, okay, back to the article. West Virginia coal miners fought the largest armed labor uprising in U.S. history at Blair Mountain, where thousands of impoverished workers, immigrants and native-born alike, took up arms together to stand against corrupt coal barons. In the 1960s, poor white migrants from Appalachia's hills living in Chicago formed the Young Patriots organization, Confederate flag-wearing hillbillies who shocked the establishment by allying with Black Panthers and Young Lords in a multiracial fight against police brutality and poverty. That spirit of solidarity across color...
Y'all, they said motherfucking Confederate flag-wearing motherfuckers join with fucking Black Panthers. Y'all, that's what I'm telling you. Fucking class consciousness is a motherfucker, y'all. Would Americans really would they figure out who the real enemy is? They like, wait a second, hold up, my brother, let's do this. Yo, that's crazy, y'all. If I saw that shit, y'all, I'll be fucking tripping. I'll be like, what the fuck is going on here? But look, that's how it's supposed to be, y'all. You're supposed to realize everybody's supposed to know who the fucking problem is. The problem is the man. The problem is the man. The problem, you understand? The real man, the metaphorical man, all the man is the motherfucking problem. We supposed to be together, y'all. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Can you imagine America as a truly populist, class conscious country? Oh my goodness. I can't, honestly. It's too beautiful. It's crazy. It feels like it just feels crazy. Like, oh, I would actually like it here. I can't imagine America being a place I actually like again.
Lines born of a shared class struggle is reappearing in today's mountain towns. You can see it in the way Charlotte activists borrowed tactics from Chicago's immigrant rights movement, setting up rapid response networks and legal support. You can see it in how North Carolina organizers are sharing resistance blueprints with communities in Louisiana and Mississippi ahead of Swamp Sweep, the next phase of Trump's crackdown. The goal is to send 250 agents across the Gulf South, starting now, right now. It's happening right now. And their goal is to arrest 5,000 people. Just indiscriminately, they're going to just go snatch 5,000 immigrants, whether or not those immigrants have done anything wrong. This is all about bounty hunting, right? Let's not forget that for every immigrant abducted, some private corporation, Core Civic, Geo Group, Team Housing Solutions, they're going to make $150,000, $160,000 a year off of each of these immigrants that they abduct and stuff into a concentration camp detention center. That's our tax money, by the way. That's our tax money.
Crazy.
And you certainly see it each time a rural
Honestly,
Southern
yeah,
church.
like when that shit's going on, y'all. I mean, like, you know, fuck a motherfucking YouTube, but like, what the fuck? Like, how are we not in open rebellion? Like that is our money that they're using to round up our neighbors and torture them. Yeah. We should really do something about that. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. That they literally keep us all just fucking frozen in fucking conformity. And then we just have to watch. We have to watch the inhuman shit in our fucking faces all the goddamn time, every fucking day. And we just die a little bit every time.
Offers protection to an undocumented family, or when local volunteers protest Border Patrol outside their hotels. No Southern comfort for feds. This all puts the Trump regime and any future administration attempt to wage war on Trump-labeled sanctuary cities in an uncomfortable position. It was easy enough for politicians to paint resistance to immigration raids as the province of big city liberals or communities of color. But what happens when predominantly white, working-class towns start throwing sand in the gears of the deportation machine? In North Carolina, activists note that their state is not Illinois. The partisan landscape is quite different, and authorities have been cautious, but it's ordinary people who are finding creative ways to fight back. They are finding common cause with those they were told to blame for their economic woes. In doing so, they threaten to upend the narrative that Appalachia and perhaps the rest of the working class, grit-ridden, forgotten America will forever serve as obedient foot soldiers for someone else's crusade. The resistance unfolding now in places like Boone and Harlan is not noise, it's a signal. It suggests that America's political fault lines are shifting beneath our feet. The coming deportation raids were supposed to be a mop-up operation executed in the heart of real America, far from the sanctuary cities that have defied Trump. Instead, they are turning into a slog, met with 1,000 cuts of small-town rebellions. This is hardly the passive or supportive response that hardliners in Washington have expected from red state USA.
Okay. And I watched this, and I've been watching. I've been watching also like the MAGA Civil War, like I shouldn't call it the MAGA Civil War. It's like the alt-right Civil War between MAGA and America First. So there's a lot happening like this. So there's this splintering, it's like this really deep splintering again between MAGA on one side. They're kind of like the pro-Netanyahu gang, and then America First on the other side, and they're like literally pro-Hitler, right? So you got pro-Netanyahu versus pro-Hitler. But at the same time, you have this sort of, a lot of the identity conservatives, I don't know how else to describe them. They're somewhere between like, the more traditional conservatives, the real super Christian, always vote Republican because I'm super Christian conservatives, or like the genuinely like populist ones. There's a lot of different like conservative others, we'll call them. Like they're basically dissatisfied with MAGA, but they're not going to become America first, right? So then they're really, really angry with Trump, and so they're like Trump is like losing his power in that sense as well, from both of those efforts. So there's a lot going on the right now. They're kind of, you got to watch your enemy, gang. You got to know what your enemy is up to, and right now my enemy is not doing well, and that is a good thing.
On the contrary, as the enforcement regime trickles out into broader white America, it is encountering the same unruly spirit that has long defined.
And speaking of not doing well, the fuck faces. We'll get back to them. Let's just finish this.
Its deepest hills, valleys, and backwoods. The message to Washington is clear. If you thought Appalachia would applaud or simply acquiesce while you turned their hometowns into staging grounds for mass roundups, bless your heart. This is precisely what I'm saying. Every action the regime takes, that creates a chance for us to react. Every terrible thing that they do opens up the door for the backlash effect. The regime thought that they were going to crush liberal cities. They were going to come in and get us to lay down. They were going to attack LA and Chicago and Portland and DC, and that we were all going to fold, except
and they done fucked around and found out, They done fucked around and found out. I kind of love that. I think all that ICE protest shit, whatever it is, if it's like a regular protest, that's cool. If it's like clowning on them with the fucking costumes and shit, that's even better. But if it's just like the open resistance, like ass whooping, like beating them, like crowd ganging up on them and like enforcing them back into their fucking vehicles and out of fucking town, and then everybody throws like a fucking party afterwards, I'm with that. I'm so with that shit. I'm so with that shit. And if you telling me they getting up there in the Appalachian Hills and the fucking real mountains and coal country and mountain country and all them shit, they in West Virginia and they gonna try to roll, and the Mountaineers gonna fucking come out and show you how they throw down in coal country, I'm so with it. I gotta look up the content, yo. I gotta find the fucking footage because I just want to see it, pop some popcorn, and enjoy that shit. Because I'll tell you something, and there's something I can tell you where there is some fucking solidarity. Real urban, like tough, gritty type motherfuckers know you don't fuck with no real hillbilly, like real redneck type. Like, you don't, nah, they they about their business. You know what I mean? It's like there's them street hood problems. You don't want them problems. Then there's them, you out in the mountains, ain't really no help coming to you for quite some time in these parts. You know what I mean? You don't want them problems either. Nah, you don't want them problems either. Nope. You sure as hell don't. Don't get me wrong, them my people. They're my people. They're a real good time during the day. But when some shit pop off, because again, people know help is not coming anytime soon. We have to handle this. So yeah, I'm down to see them clash with ICE. Oh yeah, I'm here for that. Oh yeah. Don't make me pop the trunk on you. Yeah.
not. We're coming up with new, adaptive, innovative tactics to resist. And so they thought, okay, we'll pivot to the parts of America that voted for Trump. We'll pivot to these areas that are very white, and they'll be grateful that we come in and snatch their immigrant neighbors. But it's not working out that way. It's not working out that way for them, because everywhere they go and they try to implement authoritarianism, every community who just thought that the immigration raids and the resistance was happening in these blue cities like Portland and Chicago, when it comes to their back door, when it's their neighbors, when it's their coworkers, when it's the folks they go to church with who are being snatched, all that does is turn people against the regime. All that does is grow the resistance. The repressive, cruel, illegal, inhumane things the regime is doing.
And then this is where the shit gets good, because then the white privilege starts to work for us. Oh, you start pissing off all them white people and they start standing up for their black and brown neighbors. Oh my God. Oh, we're gonna turn this motherfucker out because you're bringing the fucking there are more guns than people in this country energy with the I want to speak to the manager energy. Yeah. Privilege and pistols. That's the game plan. When white people get pissed off, it's privilege and pistols. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it's Trump, Trump don't want them problems, y'all. I'm telling you, you're not ready for that. Imagine the January 6th energy against Trump. That's what we're talking about here, gang. The January 6th energy against Trump. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers showing up, pistols loaded, you know what I'm saying? But this time they're Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback and Jesus is my savior. And they're singing the fucking worship tunes, but now they're hang Donald Trump is what they're chanting. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about them showing up literally with pitchforks and shotguns, demanding Trump be impeached, convicted, and then executed. When they get you know what I'm saying? Black folks, we've just been let's vote for Kamala. You know what I'm saying? That was black folks' solution. If you really want to talk about how black folks really wanted to solve this, our solution was straight up. We were literally just vote for Kamala and we'll call it a day. You know what I mean? We were vote for Kamala, we'll call it a day. That's why we ain't fucking with y'all, because we all you had to do was vote for Kamala and we could have called it a day. But when MAGA feels fucking betrayed, y'all, oh my God. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh, shit's gonna get so much fucking uglier for fucking Trump. Oh, it's gonna when the entitlement and the amosexual, you know what I'm saying? When that amosexuality and that outrage and that sense of betrayal and the righteous indignation, and then the fucking, Jesus starts talking to them about fucking taking back their country from, this rich billionaire pedophile. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, they're gonna be you thought the left fucking hated Trump? You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh yeah, these are the type of people nobody wants to piss off. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm just telling you that right now. These are not the type of people you want to get that type of angry at you. It's really not gonna end well. They might go straight full trench warfare out there and start laying traps and shit for ICE. Man, yeah, that's an assignment I don't want if I'm ICE. If I'm ICE, I'm send me to DC, send me to Portland. You start naming the blackest places you could think of. Send me to Detroit. Is there openings in the Chicago crowd? Yeah, because that hillbilly shit, yeah. Yeah, that's woo-hoo-hoo. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. Speaking of gonna be a problem, I'm just telling you, y'all, just a little preview. We're pretty much boycotting all the atheist organizations. Yeah, all of them. All of them. All of them. They gotta go. It's gotta happen. It needs to happen. They're grifting. It's been a grift all along, and now the grift is dangerous, and the grift has decided it doesn't care how fucking dangerous it is. Fuck these people. Fuck these organizations. Keep it locked here. There's more to come. There's more to come. But I'm just letting you know, if you wanna get ahead of the curve, that's the move. Fuck all the bullshit organizations. Fuck all that shit, y'all. Roll with your friends. Find you some good friends. Rock with the homies. So we gotta support each other. Fuck these organizations. Look, y'all. Put your money in the goddamn plate. There's links in the descriptions to support the Apostate sisters. Join their Discord. They got a Survivors channel in there. That's fucking fire. Kyle's doing a fundraiser. Stand in with solidarity. The link for that's in the description. Choose your own adventure. But yeah, we gotta reach into them pockets and help each other out and look out for each other, stick up for each other, stand by each other. And yeah, that's how we're gonna roll. Look, y'all, don't forget to tune in tomorrow to the stream with Patty. That's gonna be fire. And then hopefully this weekend we've got hot program with my one black friend, and who knows, maybe another episode of the Blackout with Uncle Bobby. All right, so there's a lot coming up. But right now, tonight is about my motherfucking rednecks. Rednecks to the front, rednecks to the front. It's beautiful, y'all. We stand in solidarity with the whole redneck movement. We are cheering on your class consciousness, your reawakening. We remember all that energy that you brought about your history and your heritage, and we are fucking here for it. Remember your history, remember your heritage, remember the resistance, remember the solidarity, remember the struggle, remember the rebellion, okay? Remember, rednecks stand in solidarity with all the people, y'all. That's what it's about. We got to reclaim this shit. Fuck all that bullshit. Fuck all that bullshit. We got to fight the motherfucking power, y'all. It's time to fight the motherfucking power. That's what a redneck understands. It's about fighting the motherfucking power. I don't give a fuck if you are listening to that country music shit or if you listening to the most gutter gangster rap. If you like me and you don't want your music to fucking stress you out, maybe listen to that smooth jazz. Whatever it is, you gotta fight the power. You fight the motherfucking power. Y'all, I got my motherfucking red bandana on. That is motherfucking production value. We are so serious. Rednecks to the front. I love it. I love it. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Have a beautiful night. Thanks to all the mods. Thanks to everybody in the motherfucking chat. I appreciate y'all. If you're watching later, smash the like button. Answer the question of the day. Are you ready to get in touch with your inner redneck? Redneck to the front. 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 All right, y'all.